Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AI Sandbox. We're going to have some fun with this make and take today. If you haven't, please say hi in the chat. So I'm excited to see Kim here. Thank you so much for saying hi. Let us know how you're doing. And we were just talking behind stage of how close it is to summer almost being over. So let us know how many days you have left for your school year. So AI, we did a session this past week, last Thursday with Mike. I learned so much. I feel like if you need an introduction to AI, go back, rewatch that. I know I've rewatched it maybe 3 times because I'm just like, oh my gosh, every time I watch it, there's so much more information that I'm learning. So if you need to, that resource is there for you. And I'll also throw that link in the chat for you in case you're like, what is she talking about? And then when it comes to AI, there are a ton of different resources and websites that are popping up. This right now is a really hot topic when it comes to education. And we need your help because of that. And because there's so many new apps. So that's why this is a make and take, because we're all going to hopefully take a website and build some resources to support educators. So we need you. We need your help. We're not experts, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But before we get started, I just want to take a moment to introduce my really good friend, Erin. And Erin is a rock star. The first project I think I worked with her on was this instructional playbook. And I will throw that link in the chat too, because if you have not seen the playbook, it's amazing. And when you're collaborating with Erin, her teacher clarity is like probably the best I've ever seen. She is like, here is everything that you need to do. Here's the links. Here's what we're doing next steps. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love her organization. And I just want to be her best friend. So if you've never worked with Erin, get on a project with her, hop on this make and take, because she will be sure to organize a project like no one else. And again, it was a successful project because of her hard work behind the scenes, where she was able to create and organize and just be very like detailed. Like, this is the next instructional strategy we're working on. Make sure you get your resources in by here. We need feedback on this. And I've never worked on a group project like that, and I just appreciated you. So thank you, Erin, for your organization, and thanks for being amazing.
Oh, thank you. That was way too much. But I definitely inspired by you and how much you collaborate with the community. And so I was like, I want to be a collaborator like Stephanie. So you were my motivation. So.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. So let's just talk about what is AI. So how would you describe AI, Erin?
So AI is like beyond my comprehension to a certain extent. Like, I have to remember it's not like a robot in a thing, but rather a system of communication that can interact with each other. And so we are the input, and then it is the output. So I'm really curious as to all the ways that it will expand and develop in problem solving and answering the questions we have and saving time.
Yeah, I think the saving time is the big piece, because I don't know about you, but I've seen some burnout teachers the past few years. And I am really excited for them to be able to kind of see the power behind AI.
Yeah. And I think it's that balance of being like a little bit scared of what it will do to the classroom, but also like embracing all the positive applications it'll have.
Okay, so we're going to begin our day with a game. Okay, so we're going to need your help in the chat. And what we want to know is, will AI take this job? Okay, so what a study has come out to find or predict is in 2033. That's 10 years from now. Okay, only 10 years, which is crazy. 50% of jobs are going to be operated by computers. Okay, so when I'm thinking about this, 50% of jobs will be operated by computers. I kind of think that's crazy, because I want to know, like, do you think we're preparing our students for this future? What which you might, or you might be like, I don't think so. Especially with some of the state like testing mandates. I don't know if we are preparing our students. What do you think, Erin?
I think it depends on the teacher that you have or the teacher that you are. And I don't think it can continue to be that way. I don't think it can continue to be haphazard. And I had a teacher last year who really embraced it and I learned how to use it. And then this year I don't. I think we really need to move so it's less haphazard and it's something that we're all embracing.
Okay, so first one, fast food cooks. You're going to put an emoji or a yes or no in the chat. So, yes, you think AI is going to take over this job or computers, or no, you don't think so. What do you think about fast food? Oh, I love what Katie said in the chat. I think this is going to move education more than the pandemic teaching did. I agree. Yeah. Okay, so again, fast food cooks. Is computers or AI going to take over this job by 2020 or 33? Maybe it already has. Or is it not? What do you guys think? Okay, we got some thumbs up. What do you think, Erin? Thumbs up?
I think so.
All right, let's go ahead and see the percentage. 98%. So yeah, it's a pretty high percentage that this computers will take over. I mean, I've seen a lot of things I think already, like with a computer kind of taking over. A friend just messaged me the other day where a robot was like taking food out to the tables at a restaurant. DoorDash has like those little, I don't even know what they're called, on wheels, where they drive like remote cars kind of
I've seen those.
to different places and colleges. So yeah, it's crazy. Okay, postal service mail carriers. What about our mail carriers? What do you guys think about this one? Okay, we got a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is where you have to reimagine, right? Like, what is it going to look like? Does it need to be driven by a car, or can drones take mail places?
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that work at Amazon, and the way they talk about how they package at Amazon and how, depending on the package, everything is already sorted and comes out kind of on a conveyor belt already. So,
Yeah. All right, this one says 100%. Okay, so again, any kid that is thinking about this career path, we might need to steer them maybe a different way or help them with some other skills. I think there's going to be people in the postal service areas. It just might be different works. Yes, feelings are really sad. I
yeah.
agree, Patrick. I agree with that one. Okay, oh, you saw the answer. Don't peek. Carpenter. What do you guys think about the carpenter? What do you think, Erin?
I did see the answer, so I am cheating. But I would have said a thumbs down, but I would have been hesitant because of the other answers and been like, I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go
Yeah,
thumbs down.
it is a thumbs down, but there's something to think about with this job. I don't know if you're into this area, but my dad used to be a carpenter, and um, he was telling me that there's not enough, like there's a shortage in carpenters. And I think that's interesting too. Like some of these jobs where AI will not take over, there's a shortage. And I'm like, why is that? Right? Like, why is it that this? And so some, I don't know if you've like kind of seen, but like some factories are doing some of the carpenter work. So rather than the carpenter putting up the wall at a job site, it's coming out shipped, ready to just be installed. Like certain tasks like that is being done in a factory, which I think is really interesting. But that's more because there's a shortage and not because AI can take over that job, which is just, I don't know. That's just interesting to me that, some of these jobs that AI can't take over, we have a shortage in. I don't know. That's just interesting to me. Okay, dentist. Will robots want to clean your nasty teeth? What do you guys think?
I don't know. With all the machines, you would think
I know. I know.
that they already use.
Kim's saying no.
I'm interested on this one. I haven't seen this one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't cheat yet. The answer is 0%.
Okay.
So if you think about this one, I think like you have to go to school, you have to get, go through a lot of training, and it does take a lot of skill. But I'm the same way. Like there are a lot of machines that can do things. So I was like, I thought instead of 0%, I thought it'd be a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not 100, but like maybe 40s.
Yeah, but I guess when you think of what AI is replacing, like a dentist would have to read and interpret information that maybe was generated,
Yeah.
but that interpretation piece.
Yeah. All right, we got elementary school teachers. So will AI want to deal with the hugs and the burgers? And we kind of did it during the pandemic, right? We try to have computers help kids, and I don't think that went so well. But I don't know if teachers can be replaceable.
I know. I'm finally getting back to the place where like a Bitmoji classroom's cute again.
Yeah, yeah. It took a while though. All right, elementary school teachers are 12%. So very unlikely. But again, it's more likely than a dentist, which I don't know if I agree with that. But 12% is what the website said. And then we have high school teacher. And this is just kind of interesting. I want you to watch the percentages here. So we had elementary at 12. What do you think about high school? Okay, we probably don't think it's being replaced, right?
Mhm.
But
I
this
don't know.
one's 15%. I feel like high school could be probably more, a little bit easier to replace than an elementary school teacher. But I still think kids they need you, right?
Yeah. I mean, you think of all the online, at least in our division, all the
Mhm.
online platforms that students use for like credit recovery and those types of things.
Yeah,
So it's already there, it's already present.
yeah. Okay, and then middle school. This one surprised me. Okay, so middle school, I'm a middle school person, and these kids, right, like they're hormonal, they are going through peer pressure, lots of things happening. Does AI really or your computers really want to deal with all that? So do you think middle school will?
I want to know where it falls in between or is it
Yeah, okay. Rank them. Do you think elementary, like which is the ranking of this percentage? Do you think middle school students need teachers more than elementary, or do you think like high school? Like, what do you think the ranking is?
I'm gonna go with that this is gonna be the highest percentage just because for shock value.
You're right. So middle school is 17%.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's still low. They still need us, even though they act like they don't need us. But again, it was the highest out of those three areas, which I thought was interesting because there's a lot of middle school kids that I feel like really do need their teacher,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though they won't admit it. But if an AI wants to try, I give them a day, and I don't think they could do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what patterns did you notice? Let us know in the chat. What did you see when it came to those different jobs? So when we had our postal, the delivery service, when we had the dentist, the teachers, what skills or what patterns are you kind of noticing when it comes to AI?
I guess I can be thankful, like seeing this. I'm thankful for my like creative brain that often gets me distracted. I'm now gonna see it as a positive.
Okay, Katie is making me nervous. She just said AI isn't more creative than humans yet.
Yeah, that
Oh,
yet.
that yet makes you really nervous. Okay, I just want to throw that out there.
I know
Um,
when you see that, like, it gets better and better the more it's used, I'm like, "Maybe we just shouldn't use it so it doesn't
yes,
get
yes.
better than us yet."
Thinking jobs that require customization, yeah, are likely to be safer. Yeah, it's a good point. Personal connection. These
Yeah,
are
when
really, you guys did good at this. You guys got 100% on this quiz today. I am so proud of you. Yes, great answers. Okay, so check out the chat for more and keep adding your ideas. But yes, it is that creativity, it's that personalization and customization that is making these jobs. And I just want you to reflect. Because I know when I was teaching, I might not every single day been preparing my students for 2033. And that makes me really sad. Like, am I preparing those kids with the skills to be creative, to make those human connections, to be able to think critically? And there were days where I was not. Some days I focused on basic recall. And as I reflect back, it kind of makes me really sad that this wasn't, a focus of mine to prepare these students because I was preparing them for maybe a job that wouldn't even exist. So I just want you to reflect about that. And now we're going to get into kind of AI and how it's going to impact education. So, how are you seeing it impact education, Erin?
I think right now, so for us and for the teachers that I work with, the ones really just began to dabble with it in the spring, mostly. So I think the first place that teachers are starting to dabble is the lesson planning and the prep work that AI can prepare them in. And I've seen a couple teachers at the elementary level find some of these like the quick draw tool and those kinds of things for creativity and and also using, I guess, tools for creation that they're already comfortable with, because I know we have a lot of software and sites that we use that maybe didn't have AI when we started using them, but now they have the text to image features. But I can see it going towards assessments more. And I'm hoping that this year we'll really see it being used for more personalized learning. Um, so I think, and to go back to what Katie said at the beginning, like, I think this is a year where we're going to see a huge leap, because I felt like in the spring we just like started to dabble in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think what I'm excited for is like, tutoring systems, I think, are going to be created based on this. So if a student needs help, rather than waiting for you, they can go and have like a chat with the bot, or maybe even with Mike, he was showing us the thing with like the camera and the water bottle, if it's not a water bottle or something like that. I don't know. I think something really creative can come out of that. And I'm interested to hear from you guys in the chat. What are you, or how have you seen AI in education being used? Patrick shares brainstorming, planning, also blowing some minds. Yes. Testing out various sites. Okay. So we're still kind of getting into there. There's so many sites. I think when Erin started this idea of the sandbox, I feel like there were probably 20 maybe sites.
Mhm.
And now I think there's a ton. And every day it just keeps growing. It's hard to keep up with. And I think sometimes that feels overwhelming as an educator, not feeling like you can be able to keep up. Okay. So when it comes to AI, we want to know, how are you feeling? So feel free to drop an emoji or pick a color and let us know. Are you overwhelmed? Are you maybe somewhere in the middle? Or are you maybe really excited? So I want you to just kind of think and perhaps think about, how are you feeling? Because there's days when I feel very overwhelmed and I'm just like, how am I going to get through all of this? There's days when I'm really excited about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that just wrote my email to these people. And I just saved like 10 minutes of a time. So let us know how excited or how scared or overwhelmed you are. And again, mine switches from day to day. What about you, Erin?
Yeah, I think it's like just like with the ed tech surge years ago, really, it's like I want to ingest it all at the same time, and then I get that overwhelmed feeling, and I always have to go back, like, just get good at one or two things. Like, have focus, and that idea of, like, you don't have to learn it all, but I feel like I'm gonna get left behind if I don't continue to research and learn about everything. So it's this constant battle of do one thing well versus, like, fear of getting left behind because I don't know it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit like this one, I feel like. Like, excited, oh crap, and then excited.
Yeah.
Like you go into the black hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got overwhelmed because I can't handle on one site, right? And then
Mhm.
you're excited too. Yes, I feel you. It's hard, right? And there's just so much. And I think this is where the community comes together, right? This is where if we don't know something, we reach out to Aaron, we reach out to Mike, and we ask for help. This is where it's okay to not know everything and tell a teacher if they ask you a question, if you're a coach, hey, let's sit down and learn this together. Let's fail forward together with this. I don't know. And just again, reaching out to the community, I think is huge. And being able to just say, I am feeling overwhelmed. Can you break this down for me? People I think are more than willing to help and more than willing to share their ideas on different things. Yeah, fear of missing out. I
Mhm.
have that all of the time. It sucks. Okay, so with our make and take today, you will become an expert in one tool. So your goal is to learn one tool. And again, you don't need to come here knowing the tool. You can pick a tool that you know, but you could also just say, I want to pick a tool that I don't know and I haven't explored yet. We're going to keep using that word yet that Katie gave us in the chat. So again, because this is how you learn, and the way that Aaron has organized the slides is going to be very helpful for you to learn the tool, the way that we have it organized and set up. So thank you, Aaron, for getting those ready. All right, turnkey. So you're going to create a way to maybe turnkey the information, because if you're a tech coach, or maybe you help other staff, or maybe you're the teacher leader in your school. And if you're not a teacher leader, you will be after this, because teachers are going to want to know about AI. So be ready if you're wanting that title or that position. So you'll be able to have all of this kind of information. We have it all organized in a slide deck. And then you can share this, have resources, send this to staff as you might need it. I feel like the people on the call today are our go-getters. You are the ones that are that fear of missing out. So you do whatever possible to learn all of these different tools. And you are like the go-getters when it comes to tech. However, there's some teachers that are maybe a little bit more hesitant or a little bit more scared. And so if we give them this whole slide deck, they are going to be like, I'm out. I am not using technology. I am done. And so that's where we can come in and we're able to support them and listen to them. And then if they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have my students read this passage and they need to answer questions, you can be like, I know a tool, and you can just send them those resources their way. Or maybe you're doing a PD like Aaron, which I'm going to let you share your PD that you're coming up.
Oh, yeah. I am gonna take what we like crowdsourced today, and I'm gonna share all this, what I've made. It's actually happening at our EdTech conference here on Thursday, kind of an AI sandbox. So I wanted a physical space where teachers could kind of do a gallery walk of AI and kind of like, what is AI? Tools that they could learn about and interact with, collaborative posters that they can write on their ideas, positives, negative feedback. So just like a physical space. So if you are a coach or teacher leader and you have a space in your school, whether you could ask the librarian, like, can we use part of the library and set up something for teachers to come and explore? I really find that that works too. So if a teacher comes to you with a particular resource, or a teacher doesn't know anything at all and wants to explore, they can pick and choose what resources they want to explore. Maybe they just want to listen to a podcast. Maybe they'd like to read an article. Maybe they want a template. And we'll be sharing a way to turnkey this as a physical space as well.
Okay, so multiple different ways to use this. Pick and choose what you have the either capacity for or the availability for. So again, you might set this up so you are doing kind of a way for people to come in and play in the sandbox and explore different tools. Or you might use it as a resource for yourself to be able to send to certain staff as they ask for support or, hey, I kind of want to know more about this. I also saw that in the chat, someone is nervous that they won't embrace it because of the fear of cheating. That is a concern. And a lot of teachers, when it first came out, were scared, not scared, I don't know what the word is, were concerned by cheating, right? That was their first kind of thought. And I think if we can show them some of the ways that it's being used in this resource and giving lesson examples, they might think a little bit differently about that. But yes, that is a fear I have too. And so I'm trying to think about how can I bite size this, and I might take one of the tools and send it out once a month in my newsletter. Hey, here's a tool, try it, see what it does, see how your students engage with this activity, and let me know, give me feedback, or if you want me to co-teach with you, I'm more than happy to. So think about that as well, of how you will be able to use this resource. Okay, so here's the resource. It's coming in the chat right now, so jump in. And what it looks like is like this. It's really cool. So we've got a read it, watch it, explore it, and try it. So if you are on this slide, slide number 23, you can click here and it will take you to it, or you can click the link in the chat and it's going to open you up to this document. This is what we want to build out. So teachers have resources. We have heavy traffic. That's a good thing. So when it comes to AI, we can have this table of contents with which we're going to build out. And we're going to kind of organize the tools by what they do best. So for example, ChatGPT is best for lesson design. So then when you have a teacher or you have a problem in your classroom and you're like, I need help for SEL and behavior, well, guess what? You can go here and you'll be able to see the top websites that we're suggesting are for that area. And then once you click to it, it will take you to that slide. Okay. So right here, we've got ChatGPT. We have read it, watch it, explore it, try it. So again, same format for all of the tools. So if you want to hop on one of the tools here, but first I'm just going to walk through this example and then we're going to do one together and then you're going to do one. Okay. So that's kind of the I do. We're going to watch Erin. I'm going to have you take over because you actually did this. I did not do this one. And then Erin's going to walk me through how to do one. So it's going to be the we do. And then you are going to go and do this for your homework. Okay. Okay, Erin, we're ready.
Yeah. So for ChatGPT, I created this like little summary. And if you don't know the tool, I just like went to the website. I did a little Google search to get an idea of what a summary might be. Thinking that for me, I would print this one pager out for a teacher within like a QR code where they could do the watch it, try it, explore it. But I would have this in my mind visible. So a teacher could look at this and say, yeah, this is what I want to learn more about. And then the ways it can support. So even though we put it under like lesson design, it can also be used in other ways. We just wanted to put it in one space. So we have that little X that you can drag and drop over to help where it supports. And then some benefits and applications. And obviously we can't be like completely exhaust everything in this little box. So just some ideas that I found or that I've used before. And that little burst is, I think teachers like to know if it's free or not. And I know that some of these will change and update. So there's a free and a paid. So that's what that little burst there is for.
Yeah, and what's nice about this slide deck is maybe a website is free right now, and then 3 months from now they go paid. We can just add that on. So it's kind of a working document. But yeah, this is kind of that first page. So this is that read it. What I'm kind of thinking about is if you do potty PD, you could print this off, put it in the bathroom. Okay, it quickly gets your teacher's attention. It tells them how they can support it, what benefits, and a quick summary about that tool.
And then the watch it, you can see I just added one link here, but I figured this was something we could all find. I thought about linking the watch it to just one video. And then I was like, you know what? You're going to have teachers that know this tool or maybe have used the tool, but only in one way. And so I changed it up. So rather than the watch it take you to one video, we now have a slide where you can just put a bunch of links. And again, like Stephanie said, we can continue to add as we find good videos or take out videos that become dated or change. And then the Explore is when they get to the site itself. Articles, templates would be good to go here. Resources that have already been created or shared. And then the Try It and the Explore It are kind of so how I differ it in my mind is the Explore would be you looking to see what others have done, and then the Try It might just be how you would use it, and it might be the same or it might be modified. And the Try It could be like these are one of those is actually my friend Sarah who tweeted and how she would use it and try it. And so this is just going to trigger me like, okay, yeah, I might forget that this is how I would like to try it this year in my classroom. So just systems on how to use these AI tools.
Yeah, and there was someone in the chat that said writing emails to high school students, right, about their acceptance. I think that could be a great place to put the Try It, right? So you could put maybe the prompt that you asked.
Yeah. And again, I am the like get stuck in the weeds person, and like someone's got to like come find me deep in a forest. Don't worry if it's an Explore It or a Try It. I don't feel pressure over trying to figure out which one it is for today.
Just get the resources on here. We'll clean it up later. Okay. And then here's another example that's being worked out. But you'll just kind of see. So on this slide deck, we have so many different websites. And if there's a website on here that is not on here because maybe it's brand new or maybe we don't know about it, just go ahead and make a copy of the 4 slides.
Yeah, and they should be templates, so you should be able to choose them.
Let me refresh because it was saying I was offline. So let's see here. Okay, so once I'm in the slide deck, if you go up here, there they are. Okay, and then you can add your own. Just make sure to add all 4. That way they're all together. It's ready to go. Okay, so again, here are the slides. Now we're going to create together. Okay, so we are going to do, where is it? Right here, this new one, CurryPod. I really like it. I've used it with students already during summer school. I found out about it at ISTE, so I'm really excited to learn more. Okay, so in the chat, participate with us and think about it as well. Okay, so to get our summary, also if you go to ChatGPT, because I tried this and I said like create a summary for CurryPod, it won't do it because it's not, it's a new website, I think it was like 2020 something, one of the dates. It's it can't get any new information right now, so I thought that was really interesting as well. So we're going here. Let's take some of this, and I'm copying and pasting from Google, and I'm just going to say use CurryPod to make interactive lessons filled with creativity, reflection, and critical thinking. Does that sound good? Thank you. Can't access info after 2021. Thank you, guys. Yes, and if you have resources, share them, please. Okay, so when it comes to CurryPod, what it can do, if you haven't seen it, is it will create lessons. So once I'm on here, I can go to my lessons and I can actually create a lesson. Let's go ahead and create a lesson. And let's just do generate slides, and we're going to do compare and contrast. and we're going to do it for 7th grade. It's going to do its magic, and all of a sudden you have all of these slides created. So there we go. And then you would just kind of review, change anything to meet your students' needs. So I would say this is good for lesson planning probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to grab your X's. Okay. Differentiation and scaffolds. It gives you one lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go down a grade level.
Yeah. I mean, you could use it for feedback.
Yeah, I would say feedback for sure. There is a piece where you can use writing, and it would give the students AI feedback.
And we have that spot there if these supports don't really exactly fit. We have this space where you can type in, productivity or whatever it might be.
All right, I think that's all of them. And again, if you're not for sure, it's okay to make mistakes on here. And then benefits and applications. So I want to go back up to what you said just so I can see your example. I'm just going to copy this maybe. And it is free and paid, so I'm going to grab that too. Okay, so I like to work when I'm working off of a template.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to say a benefit is the group discussions. Okay. In interactive activities for students.
Yeah, does Curapod have polls that you can do?
So I was going to put like interactive activities for students to engage in. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
And then like add your standard or lesson focus. And I'm on the wrong slide.
I didn't even catch it. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Oh man. Okay. Group discussions, interactive activities, add your standard or lesson focus to quickly create an interactive lesson. Anything else you can think of?
No, I've only explored Curapod like on the side. I haven't not used it with students or with creating something that I will actually use in the classroom yet.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm excited for too, is like right now, so many schools in America, we're on summer break.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've only kind of played behind the scenes and not with actual humans, some of these tools. So I'm curious to see how that goes once we are back.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if it's kind of like after COVID, where like maybe we relied on technology in a way we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It became a replacement tool rather than like a creation tool,
Yes.
And a collaborative tool. So I am, I guess, to go back to the beginning, I am a little bit nervous to see if everyone's like, oh, I can create things so fast that some teachers aren't looking through them thoroughly.
Okay, so I just went to their YouTube channel. And this one is about how Curapod works. So I'm going to add that on here. And again, we don't have to have all of these resources done, but at least just started. So that way we have places to go. I also made a YouTube video the other day on it because I was just kind of preparing. So if you love creating videos, feel free to add your own videos that you kind of explore and create when it comes to using these tools. Right, videos, I think it was right here. Okay. So I'm just going to put 2 unless you have any, Erin.
No, this looks great.
Okay. And then feel free to update the font to match the presentation. Which I think we're going with. Okay. So now we are at the Explore It. So right here, Matt Miller had a really great post about 10 different ways to use it. And then there is also a Curipod ambassador course. So I thought that would be a good, do you think that goes under Try It or Explore It? I know we're not getting in the weeds.
I know. I would say, I don't know. What do you guys think? Explore it or try it? Where would you put it? Any takers? Explore. Okay, we'll go with you, Rachel.
All right. Okay. I know Rachel's the librarian, so she's pretty good about all this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess the try it would be more when you use it in like a practical sense, like a real life. Explore is more invested.
Okay. Yeah, like you're still exploring, you're still learning it.
Yeah.
All right. Is this where the ambassador? There it is. Okay. So there's the ambassador course. And then for the try it, okay, lesson idea. Let's see.
So could we give like provide a prompt for like a slide deck that a teacher might want to use, or that you could see them kind of like you did, when you showed us.
Yeah.
Even if it's something like kind of vague, but take a slide deck you've already made and you already use, and then put in a prompt into Curipod and like compare the two to see what you could add or edit to enhance it this year.
Yeah. And I'll put in the lesson that I did with students. Let's see here. I think it's under this account. I did one, it was on justification. And I was like, oh, this will just take 5 minutes to do. It took 45 minutes because the kids were so engaged with the conversation. So that's why I'm a huge fan of it, because again, I was like, oh, this will just take 5 minutes. It's going to be a great intro to the activity that I have. We didn't even get to the activity because they were just so engaged with the conversation. And this was a group of kids that doesn't really like to talk. So I was like, we're going to just keep on going. Okay, so right here, you can share the link. So I will just put in here justification lesson. And I know some websites too are making Padlets or let's see, like spreadsheets with different lesson ideas. So feel free, maybe that could go under the try it too.
Yeah, I think for the try it, since we all are going to be new to a lot of these, if there's not something you have actually, if there's a tool that you're like kind of exploring during this process and you don't have a try it and you can't find something, like how do you, now that you've learned, how would you try it in the classroom? How as a teacher, or if it's a student tool?
Yeah, and Wakelets. Feel free to put Wakelets. I know a lot of people have some Wakelet activities are placed too. Okay, so looking back through the chat real quick, it looks like we got everybody's questions hopefully answered. If you have questions, add them in the chat, because now it's your turn, okay? So now what you're going to do is you are going to find a tool, okay? So on this slide deck, go to one that you know about, or maybe you're interested in it, or you're like, I have never heard of this. Start there. Okay, so go ahead and find one. If there's not one, add your own. I love that we added Adobe. Yes, yes, this one's new to me too. But yes, add your own if it's not on here, please, please, please. And do we want to set a timer, Erin, or do we just want to have them pause?
Yeah, we can set a timer, and also like if I th- to go along with like the Adobe Firefly, like teachers may be familiar with Adobe and it can do lots of stuff, just like Canva can do lots of things, but there is AI. So please feel free if there's a tool that has like a AI feature, it doesn't have to be just exclusively AI. So feel free to add those slides as well. Also, something to consider, I'm on my school network right now, and there were tools that I was like wanting to add, but they're blocked in my division. So maybe some of these might be blocked in yours, like some of the sites. So like, don't worry about that. That's why kind of we want to have a lot of stuff because we all have different firewalls and permissions and all that kind of thing.
Okay, we're going to set a 10-minute timer and I'm going to create a new one. Okay, so now you're going to do it. Erin's going to create something too. If there's two people on your slide, just collaborate together. The more resources, the better. All right, let's go ahead and set a 10-minute timer and then we will be back to close us out at the end and kind of see what we have. So have fun and explore. All right, your time is up, and it's okay if you're not done. I know I was trying to go through and I did Bard. So I learned a little bit more about Bard, and I actually asked Bard how I don't know if he's a he or she, but I feel like I should call him a he. But I asked Bard how he would use how we could use this tool in education. And he gave me out the triad area. So I kind of like some of his ideas of when it came to how to use it in education. And I was kind of going through as I was finishing up mine. Thank you, everybody who added resources. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I played with Twee, which I hadn't heard of until a colleague told me about it, and it's for English teachers primarily. So again, me in the weeds. I was like, oh no, don't just watch all the videos. But it seems like a new beta resource. So but it has always, it'll take a YouTube video and create questions for you. Helps with grammar and vocabulary. So yeah, this is one of those that has like 400 subscribers on our YouTube and 3 videos available. So when we were saying things are like popping out of the woodwork and we don't know, this seems like it was one of them. So I appreciated the 10 minutes of focus time to just look at it.
Yeah, it helped me too just to explore because sometimes I think, and 10 minutes was enough for me to just kind of get an intro to Bard. I mean, I've kind of used it, but I just wanted to learn a little bit more. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just set a timer, 10 minutes a day, and just explore some new tools like we kind of did here, or click some of the links that others have found and been able to get those resources.
Yeah, and I could totally see doing that with my teachers if I'm introducing a tool instead
Mhm.
of like being the expert and saying this is how you use Adobe Firefly and I've learned all about it ahead of time. You use that time to collaborate together and share. And you could either openly explore it or each take I'll read about it, you watch it, I'll explore it slide.
Yeah, and as I was exploring too, I was just kind of thinking about like, oh, Eric Kurtz, he did a video for Bard. So I was like, oh, he's someone that I could reach out to. So, like, as you're researching, find out who does know the product and add them to your connections of, hey, I'm going to ask them what they know about this tool or how they've used it in the classroom because I'm sure they're willing to share with you and collaborate with you. All it takes is you sending out a direct message to them and asking them questions. So that was really helpful for me too, is to look at who was creating some of the resources that I was linking because I'm definitely going to reach out to them if I get stuck.
Mhm.
Okay, so now that we've had 10 minutes, again, if you want to, please come back tomorrow or come back later today, set another 10-minute timer and keep adding to this document. The more resources we have, the better it will be when we're trying to support other educators or teachers or whoever you're supporting. So again, set that 10-minute timer and keep coming back to this. So next steps. What are your next steps? Let us know in the chat. What are you thinking? How are you feeling now? And what are you kind of thinking is your next steps?
Yeah, I'm thinking of all, you're trying to think of like the teachers that are most difficult to reach. Those are always the ones that, like you're thinking of the ways
Mhm.
to try and get them on board. Um, and so I'm thinking like one thing at a time. And maybe I hit up the science department with something different than the English department and not just a generic, at a PLC coming to a department with something specific for them.
I love that idea of going to different people with different tools, like different departments, because the kids get sick of sometimes seeing the same tool or whatever. And then I think the news gets around faster.
Hmm.
Oh, I love your idea, Rachel, about approaching the principal for PD.
Hmm.
Yeah. And keep adding your ideas because I need them. I need creative ways that I'm going to share all of these resources that is not overwhelming for teachers. And if anyone knows a good one for science, um, there's a question in the chat. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'd have to do some exploring to see some of the how they have the virtual labs and things online, if there's something
Mhm.
that you can put parameters in to create.
And we can continue this conversation too on the Google group. So feel free to email everybody at hello@goldedu.org and ask, hey, what's a good AI for science? And it will give people some ways to kind of think. And maybe there's people that weren't able to attend right now, but they have a tool and they can answer you as well. So continue this conversation on the Google group or on social media because we want to connect with you. So keep going back here. I love the ideas that you guys are having for your next steps when it comes to either I need to learn more or hey, I want to lead a PD. I feel like I could take this resource and do it with my educators as well. Feel free to have your teachers add to this document too. If they know of a tool or they use something in their classroom as the school year gets going.
Yeah, so we have, I know we're like running out of time, but I want to show them the Sandbox just if they want to use it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I put it in. I don't know if I can share the link directly in the comments, but I sent you the link. Let me see if I can.
Okay. I'll hold it. I got it. It's
Okay.
coming. Just too many. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll share this with you. This is kind of what I have thought out for my own like PD that I'm doing here actually on Thursday, and kind of like a physical space I want to set up for teachers. And if you click on the link, I've kind of tried to set up icons so that you could get into my head a little bit. So I use like a pin icon if it was something I wanted to like post somewhere visibly in the room. And then I've kind of given you my ideas of where I'd post it, like the purpose of the Sandbox, having that typed up and printed or on a poster as someone enters the physical space, if that's what I decide to create. And then I use the like two little people emoji to say that's where I would have collaboration. So if this was a digital collaboration, I gave you like some different options of whiteboard tools you might want to use. Or for me, since this is like a day event, I would probably put a big like post-it sticky. So as teachers enter and exit the room, they could write on marker their ideas or their thoughts to answer the question. And then lastly, the printer, which is just things that I plan to print, and I'll either like make them cute and stick them in a little frame and post them around or not. So and also the slide deck, just up top, some ideas of how I would use that slide deck in a physical space rather than in a digital capacity. So again, take it or leave it, but since I went through this process myself, I wanted to share it with you all.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. And I think it helps to kind of hear how someone else might use this with their own educators or with different educators trying to explore these different tools because it is overwhelming. But I really feel a lot better now that we've broken this apart into bite-sized chunks. So thank you for doing that, Erin. And thank you for organizing all of the slides for the make and take because I know how much that took because there's so many websites and it's just like how do we organize all of this. So keep coming back and keep sharing your ideas, and then if you need help or have questions, feel free to reach out to us. I'm going to put in the chat our social medias. Is that the best way for people to reach out to you, Erin?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so just feel free to either send us a message, email the Google group, or you can, let's see here, I'm having issues connecting, so I don't know. I'll put it in there though soon. But reach out if you have questions, so that way we can support you and help you along the journey. Or if you're like, I don't know what category this goes in, just let us know and we can help with that too. But we are looking forward to seeing this document be built and can't wait to continue the collaboration. Any last words, Erin?
No, thank you all for like helping with the work. That's really what I love is like trying to get everyone on board to like share expertise, and so thank you all for contributing, and I'm going to continue to contribute to this. So please, bookmark the slide deck and these resources because they will continue to grow, and we will continue to add to them.
Yes, it is recorded. I just saw this question in the chat. It's at the same link. You can just rewatch the recording. It will be available as soon as we end the broadcast. You should be able to go back as well. So if you are like, I need to see that again, it's here. You can rewatch it as many times as you need to. Or if you're like, I need to watch it and have that timer again so I can really focus, you can do that too. But thank you so much. And please share other ideas as they come to you or how you are training your staff on AI, because I could definitely use the advice that you guys are doing. So please continue to share. And we look forward to seeing this finished product. I don't think it's ever going to be finished, but I like to think that it will be, even though I know it won't be. But we can't wait to see you guys keep adding to it, and we'll keep adding to it as well. So thanks for joining us today.